All right, this is Robin the Generous Stitcher, and I have, this is going to be a shorter video, roughly, because I've gone to 2 retreats, and I know people are waiting on the recap videos, but I've got a lot of stuff that I've filmed or need to film, so I'm going to do a recap of the 2 retreats, but I'm going to do this first because this one is kind of like I filmed some of it before, like before the first retreat, and you can probably hear in my voice I've got a scratchy voice. I have been battling with what I thought was a minor cold because the spouse brought it home and he had it for, I think I might have said this in one of the videos, that he had it for like 12 hours, slept all day, and then he was fine. Well, I didn't have the luxury to sleep 12 hours, but I did get some sleep in, but it kept lasting for 3 days. I even had a fever, and then I thought I was well enough, and I went to the beach retreat. I came home, I was completely exhausted. I took some more time off work, which I couldn't really afford to do. And then I went to the second retreat, which is the 11/20 Crafters Retreat in Bend. And so I'm going to do this one now. That's going to tie up the loose ends that I had before I left for the retreats, and some things that came in like between the retreats. And then I'm going to go, then I will post this and post this while I'm editing and posting the other video that I'm going to film after this one. So you will see my whips. You will see some things that I've purchased, but I did that filming on April 22nd, which was the Earth Day apparently. I thought, yeah, I get confused about which day is Earth Day. Which is funny because I'm an environmentalist. You'd think I would know, but you know, to me every day is Earth Day. So I did work on one other thing, but let me show you. I got one thing in the mail and I worked on one other thing. So I'm going to show those to you. Then we're going to go into the whips, and then the final piece will be the rest of my curated cross stitch collection. So I'm looking at my stats. I think I might have had some stats for April. I had one. It's now April 3rd. May 3rd. So when I was finishing up the month, I had 1 start, 2 finishes. I had hoped to have. I didn't think I was going to have another finish, but I'm hoping I could have a finish in May. That's my goal. And then I had 21 days of stitching. When I was sick, I really didn't have, people talk to me that they lose their mojo. I don't feel like I lose my mojo, but there are times when I'm like, okay, you can't focus on this. And it's not that I don't want to stitch, I do, but I just can't focus on it. And I'm sorry, I've got the glare from my light shining in the glass back there, so it looks like I have like 2 little horns or cat's ears or something up here. That's kind of bugging me. I hope it doesn't bug you. And then I had 12 days where I could be social stitching. I think most of those 12 days I actually did socially stitch. And then last month I filmed on the 5th and on the 14th. And I did film again on the 22nd, which you'll see in a little bit. So those are the stats. And and I had 1 retreat at the end of April. So no classes. All right, so a friend of mine who really enjoys collecting fabrics, she asked if I wanted some fabric. She was bringing some fabrics to show a friend of ours who likes purple, and I am always willing to look at purple fabric too, but it turned out she felt a little under the weather, so she didn't come down and show the fabrics. However, she had a piece of Baxter, which is from Hometown Fibers, And if I am remembering, Hometown Fibers was, that dyer was actually at the beach retreat. I may have to check on that. But so there was a piece that had been in Acorns and Threads where my friend bought her a piece, and it could have been this exact piece for all I know. But when you look this fabric up online, it looks way more brown. This actually is, it reminds me of that Serafina Old Stationery, because one count was yellowy and the other count was gray. And this is sort of like a super light tan, but when you look at it in brighter light, it can look more gray. And so, yeah, so, and I'm gonna probably pick the part of it that looks the most gray. What I was thinking about stitching this was Glow Below from the Beneath the Waves collaboration, where they show the anglerfish on a piece of white fabric, and then you stitch all the, it's almost a full coverage, but it's basically lines and showing the light and the dark of the glow of the anglerfish's little bobbly things that are the lures to get its prey into its mouth. So, so anyway, this came from my friend Lisa of Tigard. I've mentioned her before, and she is destashing. She might be on Facebook. So anyway, and when I went to the 11 to 8 Crafters last weekend, Katie Fellows, who's the owner of Cynthia's a Bend, she went to Nashville and she had some things she gave us for free and then some things we purchased. And one of the freebies was stickers that she had, and this is Fox and Rabbit fabric, fabric adoption agency, and that suits Lisa. So I'm giving this to her because she loves fabrics and just gets them, and then maybe she'll use them, or maybe she'll decide, whoa, I have too much, and then she resells them. So anyway, she gave me a friend discount on that, which was nice. All right, so that's the only thing I'm going to show that I didn't purchase at a retreat. Well, technically, I did purchase something else, and that is another thing that I want to show you. You've seen this before, but now it is fully finished. So this is We Santa 2023 from Hands On Design. Is that right? Or Heart and Hand? I'll have to look that one up. I think it's Heart and Hand, because they do the We Santa series. So anyway, everybody goes, oh, it's so Nordic. That was not my intention. I was just trying to draw the blue out. And this frame looks a little, I don't know if you'd want to call that distressed, but it's like, it's painted blue, but these two parts of the frame are like the blue's rubbed off, and you see a natural color right there and right there. So anyway, this is a gift for my mom, and because the thing that drew me to this pattern was that these flowers looked a bit like quilt blocks, and my mom is a quilter. Oh, and then somebody said, maybe Katie or someone who is a quilter, because 1120 crafters are multi-crafters as well as cross-stitchers and quilters. And so they were like, oh, the flying geese pattern. So I didn't know that because I'm not a quilter, but maybe my mom will recognize that too. So, all right, crackly paper. And hopefully Max has lost his interest. He grabbed hold of the masking tape on the outside of that wrapping and was like, so, because, you know, he likes adhesive things. That's his chewing gum. So then the other whip that you haven't seen, because I hadn't worked on it when I filmed my last bit of Flosstube for April. Excuse me. And that is Flamingoules, which I better have this in the, yes. So Flamingoules by Artist Designs. I really like her stuff. And this was a Nashville 2023. And then I collect specialty flosses over the years at Nashville, and then occasionally, like for this piece, I will find ways to use them. So I've worked on the border, and I'm getting there. It's a rather tall piece, so the bottom border is done, except for there's a green color that it's purple, green, and orange, and you can see the purple and the oranges are all completed. And so then I started stitching the green hands that are coming out of the border. So you can see I finished I have to like this one, and I was working on this one when the stitching group ended, and I stitched a few more stitches on it, but I needed to do other things and get ready for the beach retreat. That was the night before I left for the beach retreat. So anyway, so I'm going to end this part and then edit the other two pieces to it. And then the second video I'm going to post will be the beach retreat and the 1120 Crafters retreat recaps. Thanks. Hi, this is the curated cross stitch collection of the portion of the video, and I'm doing this now because I didn't want the spouse to see how much I spent last weekend. So, Fragments in Time, Patriotic Quaker. I like it. So, that was the only pattern I bought. Just Cross Stitch Magazine for, I believe this is the, summer 2026. Oh, Willow's here. She wants to make an appearance. Okay. Hey, baby. Okay, so I bought a bunch of floss, and I gotta show this, and then this is like spring colored flosses, and two darker greens that were for something I'm doing that I didn't have very much of, and then I saw this beautiful Patriotic variegated floss, and now I'm putting them back because Willow is right there. Yes, I just pointed at you, and Max is behind her. So, okay, make sure all the flosses stay in the bag. I don't usually buy stuff, but this was a sticker, and it was cute. And all right, then okay, Max is right behind the camera. Willow's in front of it because I have a piece of linen, which you can't see because Willow's in front of the camera. And they are sniffing. I have my whips right here, which you can't even see me, and you may not even be able to hear me. Come on, Willow. Can you, like, sit down, maybe? Oops. Maybe if I move this, you'll move past the camera. Okay, that was a good idea. Now everything hopefully will not go cascading off the table behind me. So anyway, this is Lakeside Linen Periwinkle. It's really pretty, light blue. Still trying to figure out what to stitch boomerang stitches the globe below on. Yes, girl. She's like, oh, it's linen. I want to eat that. So, all right, let's pull out the other two pieces of linen. So last weekend I went to Acorns and Threads. This is being filmed on April 21st because I may, she's watching my hand. I may be picking up something this weekend at the beach retreat that I've already ordered and paid for. Acorns and Threads made a branded sweatshirt. They're really nice looking, really nice quality. And so I bought 2 purple ones in 2 different sizes because I've lost 30 pounds since June. And so it's like from the waist, well, maybe not exactly the waist, but I've gotten a lot slimmer through the upper part of my body and a lot slimmer from like my thighs down. Still working on the middle part. All right, so here's another piece of linen. So I was stitching because it was the free stitch the 3rd Saturday of the month at Acorns and Threads, and oh gosh, was it Carrie that came in to back to the stitch room? Because you know we put our stuff in the classroom area to stitch, and then we go wander into the shop, make our purchases, and wander back. And then sometimes we'll see something someone bought, and so we'll wander back and make another purchase. I think the worst Saturday I've had, I made 3 purchases. I think one was what I was planning to do, and maybe another one was, oh, I forgot something, and then, oh, I saw something else that someone else bought. So Carrie came back, and she had this beautiful pink linen, and she's like, Mason linen. And I'm like, oh, well, I have only seen Mason linens in neutrals, and this is not a neutral, thank goodness. And yeah, Willow's getting excited because of linen, and because it's got crinkly paper. There's tissue paper in it, I think, to keep it from more solid so it doesn't wrinkle and fold. And then while I was in there, or after I made my big purchases, I saw that they had on their cutting table all of this beautiful, this is English countryside, it's barefoot linen, and this is just gorgeous. It's got a little bit more of a yellowy green model through it that it's looking a little bleached out on the camera here from the light there. If I hold it like that, maybe you can see some of the darker modeling, but it's not very dark. And so, you know, I can always find something to stitch on this color. And so they had like yard pieces of it, so they were cutting it up, and so they asked me what I wanted, and I was like, yeah, fat quarter would be great. So that was an unexpected purchase, something like brand new in the shop, hadn't even made it to the linen section yet. And so then yeah, so I show my 3. Yeah, the periwinkle is lakeside linen. That's not always easy to find in the shop. And then this is something I pre-purchased. Yes, Willow. She's like, what's that? It's crinkly. I'm gonna set this bag down. Of course, she loves bags, so it's like if it's a bag, she wants to get in it. So I put down my stitching bag, and sure enough, she's like, I'm gonna go sniff that. It's got linen and floss in it. Maybe I want to get in it. So I'm having to keep an eye on her. I'm trying to keep an eye on her and open the bag. So Acorns and Threads has some lovely branded stuff for their anniversary. I forgot to get one of these when I went to the anniversary weekend. And so I went onto their website, and on their, I think it's under their exclusives. Well, if you hit the shop button, it's gonna pop. It's eventually gonna pop up. And then I got a bunch of. It reminds me, I need to get this. I bought some of these. This is from the Boardroom, which is Beth Twist's husband's company that makes things like. this, which is a floss, like floss bobbin. So these are acorns and oak tree leaves. So anyway, I bought some of those. And last year for an Advent gift, I bought Christmas trees, which I have to remember to take some of the trees I have left to the beach retreat, because some of my friend group didn't get theirs at Christmas time, and then I never seemed to, run into them at the shop. One of my friends had been sick, with allergies and stuff like I get, and my voice may sound a little rough. My husband brought a cold home from the library, and I just happened to get it, and I'm looking at there. I hope that's better. I was just like, wait a minute, I'm tilting. So, all right, sorry for the crinkles. And then I'm gonna stop now and go into the whip portion, at least some of the whips, because I've got a bunch of whips. I've been kind of debating, should I do a like a short pre-beach retreat video or not. So, all right. Okay, so these are whips, and they're actually whips that I've accomplished in the last 5 days or less. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, because today's Tuesday. I went, I stitched with my stitch group on Thursday. I went to the shop on Saturday. Sunday, I stayed home and didn't do anything but stitch. And so then I stitched on one. Stayed home from work yesterday, and I stitched on one thing sort of off and on. And then we had our third Zoom of the month stitch, and with acorns and threads. So I stitched on one of my pieces for that. And so I've been making more ground on all of the undone things in this one, but mainly this here looks a lot more done. I think I'm up to 5 completed prompts on the April prompts. And so, so things are looking a little bit more complete. And one of the things that I worked on tonight was the Dimensions Gold Petites Kitten Reflections, and I'm having some of this floss. This is like a 23-year-old kit, and or at least 20. I'm trying to see. Oh, it says it's 2007. I'm sure I bought it before then. That's kind of weird. So, yeah, because I thought I started this in 2006. But anyway, so, I hadn't touched it for like 19 years, or probably, if it is from 2007 and it was in 2006, I hadn't touched it for 18 years. Still, it's a long time. And so I was trying to stitch some of this blended thread right down here because I wanted to complete some rows. And I have 2 rows that are absolutely end-to-end completed that weren't that way when I started tonight. And I did a little bit more I did some of the greens that are in here, a little bit of, I found a missed stitch that was on this side right over here. So just kind of trying to fill in some stuff. I still want to fill in this area, and there's a few missing stitches right there above my finger. And so, gradually when I have time and want to just do a few stitches, even a few stitches in one of the colors is substantive. And I've got a needle sticking straight up right there. So when I was doing and this is upside down, but when I was doing this blended thread right here, one of the greens really started to shred. And and this one here, I'm not sure if, I think I'm gonna have to to basically say that you're done for a bit. So I'm gonna put it through underneath. Yeah, I'll put it through underneath and then, oops, to catch that last stitch. So, of course, you're not seeing me do any of this, but anyway, and this is like, oh, good, good. So, anyway, snip it right quick, just because I want to put this needle into the project bag with the, yeah. All right, and Willow decided to skedaddle, so I'm glad. Otherwise, she'd be like getting her little face right in the needle and the project. Okay, there, it's ready to be put back in the project bag. And so that was one of the whips I worked on. And I actually, because of the shredded thread, I actually got to use this, let me open up the bag, the star detailer. I actually got to use it because the thread was so, you know, wispy, and so I had to figure out the right angle, the right orientation to put this through, and then put the floss through and pull it out again. So that was a little tricky because I'd never used this tool, but you know, for sticky situations, I have a new tool, which is great. That's what my friend intended when she gave it to me. So, all right, put away all this stuff that Willow, well, and especially Max. So the other night when I was stitching in my recliner chair, and Max and Willow both jumped up on the recliner. Willow starts messing with the floss and the fabric, and Max goes under the TV tray and he picks this up and carries it off. And I was like, I was too busy fending off Willow, and he was like, he saw his opportunity. So then I, you know, yelled at the spouse, like, go get Max, he's got the scissors. So we did get the scissors back, because what he likes to do is grab them in his mouth, cart them off, and then he drops them on the floor and bats them around, and then they'll go under something, which I don't want him to do. And I don't want, you know, the tip to come off and then him get poked. That would be bad. So, all right, and then I did a little bit of work on hands-on design, Ladybug Picnic, and I'm doing it on, oh, and the last piece is, it's done on 18 count Ada. It's an ivory Ada from the kit, and just the DMCs from the kit, or whatever. I think they're DMCs, but they're kind of goofy colors. And so this is done on cotton candy from Mystic Fabric. It's a 36 count linen. And I had done a bunch of leaves. I got tired of the leaves, so I decided to start doing the bug. And I realized as I was finishing up this red and finishing up a thread that I miscounted, and so the end of the ladybug goes a little farther down, and I don't think it's gonna interfere with that leaf, but maybe it will. So I'm gonna probably have to figure out. I'm gonna use that detailer again, because I'm gonna need to frog just a couple stitches on there, and then I'm gonna hopefully tuck the ends of the threads underneath, using that star detailer, because I don't want to have to frog a whole section of that red, because anyway. So I find Mystic is great to stitch on, but I do find some of it is, it's hard to, it's kind of hard to count stitches on. So anyway, so that's that. I've stitched on it once or twice in the last 5 days. Maybe once when I was sick. All right, so I put the pattern back in the bag. And then I've stitched on Festive Forest 2 or 3 times, and I stitched on it. I think I stitched on it Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. And so this is Festive Forest. It makes this muffin top from the blue flower, and I'm stitching it on, I think it's 32 count, yes, 32 count Lugana in Winter in My Heart from Live and Die LA. And so I realized I'd miscounted at the top here, and the top is supposed to angle in that way before the end of my green, unfortunately. But I went in and I filled in this branch, and in the pattern there's supposed to be a space between the branch and the flower, but to make up spaces here I squished it together. So anyway, so I had finished this tree trunk. This is also one of the spires between these sections. So I had stitched up to where it stops and then angles, and so I really need to find my ecru, which I found at one point, but I'm thinking I put it in another project bag and it may be kind of lost, or it may be, well, I have a skein of ecru in here. I don't think I've got the bobbin of ecru in here, but anyway, and I did find my, I was trying to find some 500 and 501, which is what this pine branch was. It was blended tweeted floss of 500 and 501, and I did find those in another project bag, but I ended up buying a little bit extra, so I can continue stitching on this one, and then I got 2 more whips. So this is the narwhal biscornu, and I like to call it Christmas biscornu because they're wearing Santa hats and they have wreaths. And so this is for the I Spy challenge. With something with a, is it something with a horn, or let's see. What did I think? Oh, something with a horn. But you know what? I should put this. It's also something that's the color gray, because the narwhals are in this pattern are gray. So oops. I think maybe I fixed that, because I know so I just started doing, that's actually down in the corner, and I finished the second side, and this is on 32 count opalescent, which is a Lugana. I think it's great for, you can kind of see the sparkles shimmer there. Oh, that's really good. Yeah, you can see the sparkles. So anyway, so I decided there's enough of a border on this side. I can start stitching in like this is actually seaweed. And this is a really simple pattern. There's only like about half a dozen colors for it, and it's fun. I find Lugana is, it's, you know, I think it's It's easy to stitch on. I like stitching it. This is one that I would bring to the beach if I didn't have so many other things to work on that need to be finished. And I need to finish them sooner because I need to probably find a finisher for some of them because I can't finish them myself. This I can finish myself. All right, and then the other thing that I have not stitched on in a while is Little Violet. And someone was asking me about that because I said, well, this is Berlin work, and they're like, well, what's that? And I said, oh, Susan Standley, she specializes in this, and went to a class with her, and this is 38 count. Yeah, I'm looking at the 38 count linen. This is a type of linen that's like a legacy linen that is not really available, that it was sourced specifically for the class. And so I'm stitching with silk, and I finished these blue string. I finished some brown, and I finished these blue. So the rest of the blue of this particular color is further up, and the brown, there's a few more brown that's over in this area that I didn't I didn't want to travel to get to. So sorry. It's like I say, I'm fighting this cold. Oh, sorry. So anyway, this is something that I can stitch with my glasses off, but it's really not, it's something I can do only as many stitches as that, and then my eyes are like, okay, you're done. So, 40 minutes tops. And so anyway, ooh, this has a Verissois. I have a friend that's looking for a particular silk, and it's red. The only red I have in here is a Verissois, and she's looking for Belle Soie, and I don't believe I have any of that brand. I got one more project to check, and just to verify I don't own any to lend her. So, okay, I gotta cut it now because my voice is going. Thank you. So you saw this a minute ago in my curated cross stitch collection. This is my retreat gift for people who attend the 1120 Crafters Retreat in Bend on May 2nd. So during the fall, I decided to bring a retreat gift because it was such a small group. So I bought, like about 30 or 40, actually it was closer to 40 different flosses, DMC, that were fall colored. And so everyone liked that so much that someone suggested that I bring spring colors for the May retreat. So these are the spring colors, and I tried to find, there's a pale pink, which is DMC 819. There's a really new grass, that's 166. Trying to not touch my Fostoria cup there. And then there's a pale violet, which is 211. Good standby color. I've stitched with it a ton. I got some Blanc, which is the white. And then I got this pale orange because I wanted to get like one of each of the colors. Oops. Cannot lose that. So this is a, where is my, sorry, don't usually do handheld stuff. So this is 967 is the pale orange. Let me get that other green. Uh-oh. That is not... This is my low res. Stop that. I somehow, when I went to grab the floss, there's a pin cushion. This used to sit on a baby food jar. This is something that one of my relatives made in like the 70s or 60s. You can see by the fabric. And so I had it for years and years, and I finally accidentally broke the jar, but I still have the lid that is the pin cushion. So, all right, so going back here, got a lighter green, sort of a yellow, greenish yellow, that's 445. Pale blue, I'm putting the, which is 162. And, okay, and then like a really pale, kind of violet pink, which is 3609. And I believe that is all the different, oh, this is a, oh, I didn't show this one. So this is a kind of a orangey yellow. It looks more orange. It looks, yeah, it's kind of like a goldenrod. That looks a lot more goldenrod in the camera than it does in real life. It looks more orangey. And it's 38.55. So those are the colors that I decided to get that I thought represented spring. So when I go to the 11/20 Crafters Retreat, I have my bowl, and I basically let people pick, depending on how many people actually come to this retreat, then it depends on whether you'll get 5 or 7 of these. And so that is my retreat gift. And it's, you know, for small retreats, it's really something that's kind of, you know, when I went to Pinwis, I got like, and they expanded Pinwis that year, I actually bought needles in bulk. So I was able to give everyone a regular tapestry needle and a beading needle. That was kind of expensive because I was trying to get stuff in bulk, and I couldn't always get the larger numbers to treat everybody, you know, 200 people to 2 different needles. But in this case, this is a small retreat, a maximum of 30 people. So getting some skeins that everyone can have a variety of these colors. And, you know, they're, like I say, some of them are, for me, are DMC standbys, you know, like solid colors that I've stitched with for years, like 211. And there are some newer colors in here, like 166. And so this will be something that I found the stitchers in this group, even though a lot of them have been stitching for years, some of them hadn't always stitched with the flosses that I gave them. So I hope this is going to be a treat of some new colors for people who attend the 11/20 Crafter Retreat. Okay, we'll see if Willow comes and joins us. She's on the table too. This was a bit of curated cross-stitch selection that curated cross-stitch collection, not selection, but selection too. I forgot in my earlier video. So this is Sambry Stitches. And this is the Journey Sampler. I got these from Cobweb Corner, which is an online shop that they retired 2 days ago. So this was like the last of their inventory. Best Stitchy Friends. Okay, I had to get this. Of course, my sister does not cross stitch. And then I really, really liked this one. This would be going to the beach retreat, but maybe for next year. Oh, and this is Beach Bigfoot. So then Thankful, which is, I've seen this before. I don't think I have it. Then Adventure Awaits. which is kind of hard to see the Bigfoot there. There's like mountains and some kind of bird and a skunk. And then this is Beekeeper Bigfoot. So this is one that I'm definitely going to do for my sister because it's just so weird and I love it. And so don't tell. I don't know if she ever watches my Flosstube. So, but most of these will be stitched for her.